Yes guys, Max here, back again with a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking obviously about the Manchester United game the other day. I'm recording this one a day or two later because yeah, it was a bit of a boring game, wasn't it? But I've still got to bring it to you guys. Still got to discuss what happened in the game. Manchester United 2, Everton 0. And like I said a minute ago, it was a pretty dull game to be fair. Not a lot happened. 2 goals, both being penalties. I mean, there's really not a lot to discuss, but we're going to do our best, squeeze it in. I won't make it as long, don't you worry. We're still going to talk about the game. I'm going to start off with the starting 11. Now, straight away, we noticed that, obviously, we've got a back four. We've obviously got Onana in goal. A back four of Dalot and Lindelof as the fullbacks, with Varane and Evans playing at centre-half, which I had no issue with. It's the only ones we can field. There's no issue there. Mainu starts in the midfield with McTominay and Fernandes. And then you've got Garnacho, Rashford, and who else played? Why can't I think of who else played in the game? Oh, Casemiro. Did I say Casemiro? No, I didn't, did I? Casemiro, Mainu, and Fernandes, and then it was McTominay, Rashford, and Garnacho basically the front three, although it was sort of Fernandes mixing in there. Anyway, starting off for the game, it was genuinely the first 10 minutes, Everton were all over us, but it was so scrappy. Like, the game was so scrappy. Both teams couldn't really string a passes. Casemiro, first 5 minutes of the game, I think misplaced about 6 passes. It was terrible. He struggled to get in it. He got better in the second half. But then we get a bit lucky. Well, not sort of lucky. We draw the foul. Garnacho's got it. He draws the foul from James Tarkowski, and we get a penalty around the 10th minute mark, and that sort of settles the game down a little bit more because we were under the cosh before then. Both teams couldn't really pass. Again, like I said, it was a very scrappy game, so to get a penalty early on to settle nerves, maybe. I don't know why we'd be nervous playing at Old Trafford. Maybe it's because about 73,000 people are there. I don't know, but they should be used to it. They're professional footballers. Anyway, we get the penalty. Garnacho does unbelievably to win it. And Bruno Fernandes is stepping up against Jordan Pickford. A bit of, back and forth between them two, but Bruno Fernandes slots it like he basically always does. And we go 1-0 up, so it gives us a very, very good lead going into the rest of the game, So it's sort of, well, I thought it would settle us down a little bit more, but Everton seemed to keep pressing out. They were doing a high press, swinging some good balls, and I tell you what, Dwight McNeil and Jack Harrison on both flanks, they were swinging in some good crosses into the box, just no one there to attack them, and I think that's the tale of Everton's season, isn't it? They've not really got a goal scorer. Beto struggled, Calvert-Lewin struggled, Danjuma's on the injury bench, Shamiti only gets 2 minutes at the end of games, so the 4 strikers they do have are not scoring enough goals, and Everton as a team are not scoring enough goals. They're creating chances, but they can't find the back of the net. So yeah, I think that was always going to happen. Everton were always going to struggle to score goals. They had a few chances here and there. Onana made some big saves. Again, he seems to come into his own, Andre Onana, the last few weeks. I think since 2024, he's been, well, he obviously went to AFCON, but since he's come back from AFCON for that Wolves game, since then he's been unbelievable for us. He has really stepped up, and we're starting to see the goalkeeper we bought from Inter Milan now. We're starting to see the distribution. We're starting to see the saves he's making. He's commanding his area, so it's good to see from Onana. I'm happy to see it. Anyway, let's just move on from that and talk about the second goal, because again, it's another penalty. Before that, we should have had another one. I'm not even going to lie to you. The ball was played over, and I think Fernandes is waiting to go through on goal. I think McTominay plays it over, or Casemiro. And Mikalenko sort of slips, but as he slipped, he's grabbed the ball with his hands and stopped it from going into the path of Fernandes. So for me, it's a handball. Referee didn't give it. We move on. We get another one anyway. Again, coming from Garnacho. He is on the right-hand side. He's cutting in through the left, comes through the middle, sort of gets a little touch to take it past Ben Godfrey, who's absolutely clumsy defending from Ben Godfrey. Just slides, completely takes Garnacho out, and then we get a second penalty of the game, again won by Alejandro Garnacho. He was unbelievable today, our best player by far in a pretty dismal game. But this time Bruno Fernandes doesn't take it. He gets the ball, he collects it, but he doesn't fancy it for whatever reason. Maybe it's to try and get confidence up for other players, but when we were 1-0 up, I was a bit sceptical about that. I know Rashford can take a good penalty, but I don't know, you should be giving penalties away. Bruno Fernandes gives it to Marcus Rashford, who starts his weird run-up like he always does, but it always works, doesn't it? He comes over to the left and slots it across goal past Jordan Pickford. We go 2-0 up, 2 different penalty takers, and that was sort of, that was good going into half-time with. I mean, we should have had 3 or 4 maybe towards the end of the half. We missed some big chances. We should have been going into half-time about 3-0 up, but 2-0, we're comfortable, we're cruising into the second half. So going into the second half, again, we were obviously comfortable with a 2-0 lead, but we were actually a better team in the second half, weirdly. We didn't score any goals, but we controlled the game a bit more. Everton were, I'm not going to lie to you, they were dreadful in the second half. They very rarely created a chance. I mean, Calvert-Lewin came on, he's still on a massive goal-scoring streak. Well, not goal-scoring streak, he hasn't scored any goals is what I'm saying. A goal drought, sorry. He's not scored in a very long time, I think since October, maybe. But yeah, we took control of the game. It was quite boring for a neutral watching it. I mean, there was very little chances created. But we got the job done in the first half. 2 penalties. Again, I think we should have actually had another penalty. I think it was a handball from Mikalenko again. Bruno Fernandes or Garnacho has it. It might have been Garnacho again, whips a ball and Mikalenko slips, but his trailing arm is out. It's out. It's away from his body and he's handballed it. So I'm not really sure why it wasn't given. I don't know. But we in another game, in another world, with another referee, we could have had 4 penalties at the end of the day. But we'll take the 2. We'll take the 2 goals. And yeah, that's where we're going to leave it because not a lot happened in the game. I'm sorry to say. Very boring game, but 3 points is what we deserved in the end. Obviously, yesterday, Tottenham beat Aston Villa 4-0 as well. A very, very convincing win, but it didn't really do us any favours. We needed a draw, really. Spurs are probably going to get 4th. We could maybe catch Villa for 5th and hope to get that last Champions League spot if it's available. I don't know. We'll just have to see. We've got Liverpool this weekend in the FA Cup. Going to be a tough task, quarter-final. It's a chance to get to Wembley. We're at home. Liverpool are on fine form at the minute, but hopefully we can get the win. And yeah, I think I'll see you for that one next week. Obviously, there'll be a load of videos during this week. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get loads more out. There's some recorded as well. I just need to upload them. I need to find a right title, a right thumbnail, you know what I mean? I'm trying to play the YouTube game. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed and roll on next weekend.